Hey there, nation, and welcome to the show where we help you to play miniatures wargaming on a budget. It is I, Commander Cheapskate, and welcome to another episode of Shadows Over Mordheim Season 2, the Battle Report series dedicated to our Map Based Mordheim Campaign. This narrative campaign features 8 warbands as they explore, pillage, and battle in the cursed ruins of the City of the Damned for riches, renown, and arcane knowledge. And on today's episode, we will showcase the Balefire Carnival, a Carnival of Chaos Warband played by my good friend, Dark Lord Mack, just in case if Mark Morrison's Return of the Mack didn't give it away. We will discuss the warband starting statistics, provide an overview of the warband's tabletop tactics, detail the warband's composition, and provide our overall thoughts on the future success of this warband. So as you can see, this is Dark Lord Mack's warband, the Balefire Carnival. It is a Carnival of Chaos that is dedicated to Nurgle, and it is rated at 86 points for its starting warband cost. And for the tarot card for this one, my buddy Dark Lord Mack actually drew the Devil card. Now, if you're wondering why we're having a tarot card in this roster, and the reason why is because to make the game a little bit more interesting, we decided to actually randomize, exactly who gets to go first each round of the campaign, who gets dibs on territories, that sort of thing. And we're doing that by using tarot cards, specifically the major arcana cards from a standard deck of tarot. What I basically did is I took all the major arcana cards out, I shuffled them and fanned them out for my friends to actually pull their random their cards, and my buddy Dark Lord Mack pulled the Devil card. Now, the reason why we're doing this is so, for example, if we need to do some kind of randomized event, we can just pull the card from the deck, and that would be a really fun, interesting way to do it. And plus, it adds a little bit of flavor to our campaign, adding some mysticism and some arcane stuff to a really cool dark fantasy setting. So now that we're done talking about the starting statistics for the Balefire Carnival, let's talk about this warband's tabletop tactics. Alright, so let's talk about the tabletop tactics for this warband. So the Balefire Carnival is going to use Nurglings as their primary focus for their tactic. The way that my friend Dark Lord Mack wants to operate these guys, he wants to use a screen of Nurglings to kind of take the front and center of his warband and send them up forward for a couple of reasons. The reason why is because he can get an unlimited number of Nurglings for his warband if he wants to, so long as he doesn't go past the maximum allowance that's allowed for this warband. At the same time, they're easily to replace as well. Plus, they're quite survivable and they can cause a lot of problems. They do cause fear. They do have Cloud of Fly, so they're harder to hit against in close combat, and he can also increase their ward save with magic spells. And so he wants to use these guys to basically act as a suppressive element for his warband while he closes in with his more brutal fighters. He's maximized the number of heroes that he has with Tainted Ones as well as with Brutes, and so these guys will have really high strength as well as really high toughness. They also have really powerful close combat attacks so that they can really stick it to their opponents and really cause harm. The only thing he doesn't really have in this warband is any shooting elements, but that's pretty much what his plan is to, as his warband develops, is to get more brethren, which are basically henchmen for his warband, and equip them with shooting attacks. That way they can take out their enemies accordingly. And that's pretty much the tabletop tactics that my friend Dark Lord Mack is going with this warband. So now that we're done talking about the tabletop tactics, let's talk about the contents of this warband. So first of all, his leader is called the Great Malenko. He is a Carnival Master. He's got 20 experience points as well as costs 105 gold crowns. He's got movement 4, weapon skill, and ballistic skill of 4, 3 strength and toughness, 1 wound, 3 initiative, 1 attack, as well as 8 leadership. He does have a helmet to protect his from being knocked out from concussion attacks, and he has a brace of pistols. And the reason why is because he's planning on using this guy for mainly close combat for the most part, and if he does have to do any shooting, he can do some really close range shooting as well. It's mainly used to protect him in case he gets charged against in close combat. Plus, those pistols give him strength 4, which is really nice. He can also shoot every round if he wants to, so that's another added bonus to that as well. He is the warband's leader, so he does have the warband special rule, and he's also a wizard as well, which means he can also cast spells. And the spell that was chosen for this warband is Demonic Vigor, which increases the ward save of demons by additional 1 point. So because it makes it a little more survivable. He plans on pairing this guy with his Nurglings, using his Nurglings en masse and getting that Demonic Vigor off to protect them, and of course as he gets Plague Bearers as the campaign develops, he can actually protect those guys as well. Continuing on with his heroes, he has Ebolith Blight, who is a brute. He's got 8 experience points as well as cost 75 gold crowns. He's got movement 4, weapon skill 4, 0 ballistic skill. He's got 4 strength, 4 toughness, 1 wound, 2 initiative, 2 attacks, as well as 7 leadership. He's got a double-handed weapon because that means he strikes at strength 6, and the reason why is because he has the strongman skill automatically attached to these guys. Strongman means that they don't, if you carry a great weapon or a double-handed weapon, you don't have to worry about striking last. You can actually strike at your normal initiative, which is actually quite deadly with these guys as well. So because of that, you'll be able to take out opponents really quickly with that strength 6 attack. If you manage to land a hit, you're pretty much going down. The toughness 4 does make it a little bit more survivable as well, and those 2 attacks makes him a wrecking ball in close combat. Continuing on with the Heroes of this Warband, we have Morbid Blight as well, who is another brute. He's got 8 experience points, also costs 75 gold crowns. He's got 4 movement, 4 weapon skills, 0 ballistic skill, 4 strength and toughness, 1 wound, 2 initiative, 2 attacks, as well as 7 leadership. And he's also got a double-handed weapon as well as a strongman skill as well. So these guys will be striking at 2 attacks at strength 6. So if you get these guys stuck in close combat, they're just going to be wrecking face by just hitting people with those strength 6 attack and just basically one-shotting most opponents. So very, very deadly, these brutes. In fact, I'm pretty sure that my other friends in the game will probably be focusing a lot of their attention towards these brutes just to make sure they don't engage them in close combat. And up next we have Thrax the Reeking, which is a tainted one. He's got 3 experience points as well as costs 85 gold crowns. He's movement 3, weapon skill 3, ballistic 3. He's got 3 strength, 4 toughness, 2 wounds, 3 initiative, 1 attack, as well as 7 leadership. And he's packing a halberd, which gives him a strength 4 attack in close combat. He's also got a bow, so that way he can shoot at opponents at medium ranges as well. He's also got the Bloated Paladin's mutation. For a Carnival of Chaos Warband, the Bloated Paladin's mutation increases your toughness by 1 as well as your wounds characteristic by 1. That's why this guy's got 4 wounds and 4 toughness and 2 wounds, but it takes away 1 point from your movement allowance as well. So this guy is a little bit slower, but he can still shoot, and if he gets within charging distance of you, he's going to wreck you and mess you up with that halberd. That toughness 4 as well as 2 wounds makes him extremely survivable, and that's another neat thing about these tainted ones, and that's how the way my friend Dark Lord Mack kind of kitted out his warband, so that way these guys can do that. And the last of his heroes is Urg the Pestilent, which is another tainted one. He's got 3 experience point, it costs 85 gold crowns. He's got 3 movement, 3 weapon skill, 3 ballistic skill, 3 strength, 4 toughness, 2 wounds, 3 initiative, 1 attack, as well as 7 leadership. And he's also packing a halberd as well as a bow for long range shooting. He's also got the Bloated Paladin's mutation as well. So even though Urg the Pestilent as well as the other guy, the Thrax the Reeking, are a little bit slower with that movement 3, you really can't really underestimate that toughness 4, 2 wounds as well. If nothing else, these guys could actually hold on to objectives, and they could actually shoot at opponents that try to close a distance, and then of course these guys could countercharge and destroy your enemies with halberds as well. So that's something that's quite good with these tainted ones. And lastly, to round out the henchman group, we have the Juggalos. Juggalos number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This group is called the Insane Clown Posse, because my friend Dark Lord Mack's got a good sense of humor about that. They don't gain any initiative because they are demonic, so because they don't gain initiative, but they do cost 75 gold crowns in total. They have 4 movement, 3 weapon skills, 0 ballistic skill, 3 strength, 2 toughness, 1 wound, 3 initiative, 1 attack, as well as 10 leadership. They do have the Cloud of Fly special rule, which means that they actually, your opponents actually suffer -1 to hit against these Nurglings in close combat. They also have immune to poison as well as immune to psychology, and they have the demonic aura, which means they have a 5 ward save, which means that if my buddy Dark Lord Mack triggers demonic vigor with his leader, these guys have actually a 4 ward save, so very survivable. They also have demonic instability as well, which means that these guys get taken out of action. They of course could die, but these guys don't cost very much anyways. I think they cost 15 gold crowns, so the way that my friend Dark Lord Mack sees it, if you lose one of these guys, he can just get another one if time goes on. And that pretty much makes out the very first list of starting roster for the Carnival of Chaos, the Balefire Carnival, for our upcoming map-based campaign. So personally, I think this is a pretty good list. It's got some pretty solid close combat. This does have some shooting elements in it as well as a spamming option with the Nurglings. So I think this is going to be a very competitive list. I actually played a very similar list to this when I was actually playing Carnival of Chaos for our Empire and Flames campaign that we did a couple of years ago, and it actually did pretty well as well. So I think that's what Dark Lord Mack is pretty much modeling his warband off of, is what I did in the future. He does planning, of course, of recruiting brethren to this gang, as well as getting a plague card so that way he can add additional demons to it, and at the same time adding some plague bearers as well, and that's pretty much his overall thought on that as well. Now, of course, we are novices in Mordheim, so please put down in the comments below if you have any suggestions for how this warband can be developed, or what kind of adjustments my buddy Dark Lord Mack can make in the future, because it'll really help out his gameplay as our campaign develops. So that's good to do for this video, guys. As always, please feel free to like, comment, and or subscribe. You guys' input is invaluable to us as always. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, as well as blogger.com for all the latest greatest hobby news related to this channel. That's good to do for you guys. We'll catch you guys next one. Peace out and stay classy.